Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. In this video we are going to see some important previous year gate problems in control system. Previously we have posted many videos under control system, so kindly check. If you haven't seen those videos still, kindly check with our playlist. And before going into the video, kindly subscribe our channel Off Campus and then click on the bell icon also, then only you will receive notification as in when we upload videos. Okay, previously we have posted many videos. This is the continuation of our previous video. This video will be helpful for our upcoming exams, TNAB Assistant Engineer and TRB Polytechnic Lecturer exam as well. Okay, this is these questions are taken from the most repeated question asked in the all competitive exams. Okay, so first problem, the state transition matrix phi of t of a system x1 dot x2 dot 0 1 0 0 x1 x2 is. So we need to find out the state transition matrix for the given problem. Already in our previous video we have solved many problems, and before that we should know, whenever solving control system problems we should be very clear, we should be very thorough about Laplace transform and its properties. Okay, previously we have posted from the basics, from the 0 to n we have posted Laplace transform. You can check with the playlist under engineering mathematics, where you can find Laplace transform properties and solved examples. Okay, so we should be thorough in that properties and all, when then only we will be able to solve these problems based on control system. So first we need to find out the state transition matrix phi of t. So what is the formula to find out STM in short? Phi of t is nothing but e power at. A is nothing but this given matrix. So how can we find out Laplace inverse of Si minus A, the whole inverse? Okay, so this is the general state transition matrix in the form of x dot is equal to Ax plus Bu. This is in the form of A into x only. There is no additional term B and U. Here it is not given. So this is the general transition matrix format. So now we are going to find out Si minus A in A, the whole inverse, then we will find the inverse Laplace transform for that. So before that, what is Si? So A is nothing but this one, 0 1 0 0. Si minus A. Si, how can we find out what is I? Unity matrix. So given matrix is a 2 cross 2 matrix, so this is also will be 2 cross 2 1 0 0 1. Sa is nothing but multiply with S, what we will get? S, each and every element multiplied by S. Okay, S0 0 S minus Si minus A, this matrix. Okay, so this is a normal subtraction, matrix subtraction. So Si minus A, what we will get? S minus 0 S, 0 minus 1 minus 1, 0 0 S minus 0 S only. So now we are going to find out Si minus A, the whole inverse of this matrix. In general, what is the formula to find out the inverse of the given matrix? Adjoint of A divided by modulus determinant of A. So adjoint of A divided by determinant A. So adjoint of A for 2 cross 2 matrix, we have a shortcut, is nothing but just if it is so we can say A matrix can be UVWX, let it be. Okay, for example, UVWX means, what is the adjoint of A? Just interchange these and these here, X, U, then change the sign of this one. Okay, so this is the shortcut. Interchange these two elements and just change the sign of this. If it is negative, we need to change it to positive. If it is positive, we need to change it to the negative value, just the opposite sign. Okay, so from there, from this, how can we find out the adjoint of A? When we interchanging these two elements, we will be getting same only na, S, S. Then just change the sign. So minus 1 become plus 1. We should not interchange this. Okay, there is two ways, two steps to find out the adjoint of A. First step is just interchange these two diagonal element. Then for these two, just change the sign alone. So minus 1 become plus 1, 0 will not be any sign. So 0, simply 0 divided by determinant A. Determinant A we know, S squared, this is 0. So simply S squared row. So now we are going to divide by S squared in each and every element. inside the matrix. So s by s squared, 1 by s squared, 0 by s squared, s by s squared, what we will get? 1 by s, 1 by s squared, this is 0, 1 by s. Now take what is the formula to find out a state transition matrix? A Laplace inverse of Si minus A inverse. So now we are going to take inverse Laplace transform. So this is taking inverse transform 1, this is for t, 0, this is 1. So for that only I am saying just we should be very thorough about Laplace transform and its property. Then only we will able to solve all these problems. Okay, next problem. Consider the differential equation dx by dt is equal to 10 minus 0.2x with initial condition x of 0 equal to 1. The response x of t for t greater than 0 is. So what is given? Dx by dt differential equation is given and that initial condition also given. We need to find out the x of t value, the response x of t. See, so this is the differential equation dx by dt and x of 0 equal to 1 means what is that initial condition? At t equal to 0, what is the value of x? X equal to 1. At t equal to 0, x equal to 1. So just write down the dx by dt 10 minus 0.2x. Just we are going to take Laplace transform using differentiation property s into x of s. So previously I write here dx by dt 10 minus 0.2 into x. So taking Laplace s into x of s minus x of 0 is equal to 10. Laplace transform of this 10 is nothing but 10 into u of t. So 10 by s minus 0.2 into x of s. Okay. So take x of s one side and other to the another RHS side. So s into x of s plus 0.2 x of s, 10 by s, this is minus become plus x of 0. Take x of s common, s plus 0.2, then 10 by s. What is x of 0? Is this given in the problem? 1. So just substitute 1 here. Then take LCM, 10 plus s divided by s. Here what is x of s? So s plus 10 in the numerator, in denominator s. So this will go to the denominator s plus 2. So we need to find out x of t. Before we applying Laplace transform, we should do partial fraction. Partial fraction, how can we split? So take this, then a by s plus b by s plus 2. Okay, to find out the constant a, how can we find out a? S into this one, s into this one. So to find out a, this is the method, s into this term and put s value is equal to 0. So it is nothing but s minus 0. So when we equating s minus 0 equal to 0, what we will get? S equal to 0. So at s equal to 0, so this and this get cancelled, substitute s equal to 0, then find out the constant a as 50. Then what is b? B is nothing but this term into the whole term. So now what is the s? S value is equal to minus 0.2. S plus 0.2 equal to 0. Now what is s? S equal to minus 0.2, minus value. So this and this get cancelled. Now substitute minus 0.2 instead of s. So 10 minus 0.2, 9.8. Here in denominator simply s only. So minus 0.2. Minus 0.2, 98 by 2, what we will get? 49 minus 49. Okay, just substitute in place of. So a is equal to 50 by s, b is minus 49 by s plus 2. So this one. So we can, so to apply the Laplace transform only we are solving this. Okay, for this fraction we cannot solve for we cannot take inverse Laplace transform. To apply this we are doing some partial fraction simplification method. So now we can take inverse Laplace transform, right? So this is x of s. So x of s, by using this we can find out the equivalent term for this. Okay, now take inverse Laplace transform. What we will get? X of t is equal to 50 into u of t. So simply we can say 1 by s is nothing but Laplace transform of 1. So 50 into 1, 50 only, minus 49 is a constant, say take outside. So s plus 1 by s plus 2, what we get? 1 by s plus a. Laplace inverse of 1 by s plus a is nothing but e power minus at. So e power minus 0.2t. Okay. So Laplace inverse of 1 by s is nothing but simply 1. So this is 50. Okay. Then transfer function of a phase lead compensator is given by Gc of s is equal to 1 plus 3ts plus 1 plus ts, where t greater than 0. The maximum phase shift provided by such a compensator is. So we need to find out the maximum phase shift provided by. So what is the formula to find out maximum phase shift? Is nothing but sin phi m. Phi m is equal to 1 minus. So this is the formula. Maximum phase shift formula is phi m is equal to sin inverse of 1 minus alpha divided by 1 plus alpha. This is the formula. So for that, what we need to find out? Alpha value. If we know the alpha value, we can able to solve this problem. Okay, we'll see how to solve this, how to find out the alpha value. So what is the transfer function given of a phase lead compensator? Transfer function of a phase lead compensator is given 1 plus 3ts plus 1 plus ts. So this is a transfer function of a phase lead compensator. What is the phase lead compensator? Is actually 0 is more nearer to the origin. Okay, so this is sigma real axis, this is imaginary axis. For phase lead compensator, 0 is more nearer to the origin. So then will pole comes. Okay, so modulus of z will be obviously less than modulus of p, right? So say it is a minus 1 value, so this is a minus 2 value, so 1 less than 2 only na modulus. So for a phase lead compensator, 0 is, we should know that. Okay, 0 is more nearer to the origin than pole. Okay, so modulus of z less than modulus p. Then what is the formula? So what is the general expression for expression of transfer function of phase lead compensator is nothing but Gc of s is equal to s plus z by s plus p. So what is alpha? See, alpha is less than 1 for lead compensator. So alpha is nothing but z by p. So we need to find out the z by p value, then we'll substitute the formula. So this is the given transfer function 1 plus 3ts plus 1 plus ts. So this should be in the form of s plus something. Okay, this is the standard expression. So for that, what we need to take outside 3t. When we take 3t outside, what will be s plus 1 by 3t. So now we can compare this with the general expression. Okay, in denominator also what we need to take out? T. So s plus 1 by t. So t get cancelled. So 3 into s plus 1 by 3t plus s plus 1 by. So this is the general expression. So c is nothing but a dc gain. DC gain at omega equals 0, we can omit that. Okay, so what is the pole location? Pole s plus z. Obviously what is z here? 1 by 3t. P is nothing but 1 by t. So z by p, alpha value is nothing but z by p. So 1 by 3t by 1 by t, what we will get ma? T get cancelled, simply 1 by 3 in the numerator, 1 by 3 only come. So this is the alpha value. As I told earlier, what is the maximum phase shift formula? Just substitute. Sin fm is equal to 1 minus alpha by 1 plus. So 1 minus 1 by 3 divided by 1 plus 1 by 3. So 2 by 3 divided by 4 by 3. 3 get cancelled. So 1 by 2. So phi equal to sin inverse of phi m. Sin inverse of 1 by 2. Obviously it is 30 degree. For sin 30 degree only we will get 1 by 2 na. So sin 30 degree can be written as pi by 6. So here pi by 6 is the right answer. Okay. Then the output of a standard second order system for a unit step input is given as y of t value is given. Okay, the transfer function of the system. So y of t value given, we need to find out the transfer function of the system. We'll see one by one. Transfer function of the system. So what is the, so y of t given in the problem. So what is the standard second order system transfer function? C of s by r of s is nothing but omega n squared by s squared plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. So what is C of t? It is also 1 minus, it is also formula very very important, 1 minus e power minus. So this will be in the form of so we can okay. So this is the standard transfer function. We need to find out what is given, y of t value only given. So what is the input given, r of t is nothing but u of t. Okay. Then we need to find out c of s by r of s. So from that only we can compare with the standard derivative c of t value. So this is in the form of 1 minus e power minus zeta omega n t divided by square root of 1 minus zeta squared into sin omega dt plus theta. Okay. What is omega d? Omega d is equal to omega n square root of 1 minus zeta squared. This is omega d value. What is theta value? Theta value is nothing but tan inverse of 1 square root of 1 minus zeta squared by zeta radians. Unit is radians. This is for omega d, it is radians per second. Okay. So these are all the standard formula to find out. So now we are going to compare with that. For that what we need to know, omega n value and zeta value we need to find out from this comparison. Okay. Then only we can apply in this standard transfer second order system. Okay. So 1 minus what is e power? So by comparing this, e power minus t is nothing but e power minus zeta omega n t. Okay. So zeta omega n is equal to what? 1 only. Okay. This is 1, equation 1. Then so in place of 1 by square, so see zeta omega n value we know, then 1 minus zeta, 1 by 1 minus square root of zeta squared is nothing but what value? 2 by 3 na? 2 by root 3. So this is, see, this is 2 by root 3, here also 2 by square root of 3. Okay. So just equate. So e power minus t compared with e power minus omega n t. So e zeta omega n is equal to 1. Let it equation 1. Then 1 by square root of 1 minus zeta squared is nothing but 2 by root 3. So equate that. Then squaring on both sides, what will we get? 1 minus zeta squared is equal to 4 by 3. Then cross multiply, 3 will be here, then 4 minus 4 zeta squared equal to 3. Then 4 minus 4 zeta squared is equal to 4 zeta squared equal to 1. This will go to that side. 3 minus 4 minus 1, minus and minus get cancelled. So what is zeta squared? 1 by 4. What is obviously zeta? Zeta is equal to 1 by 2. So zeta value we know. We should form the transfer function. So for that we need two values, zeta and omega n value. So these only we are comparing with the standard equation and then find out the value, then substitute the formula and find out the transfer function. So zeta value we know. Already we have one equation, zeta into omega n is equal to 1. Substitute zeta value here, 1 by 2. What is omega n? Obviously 2. Okay, this will go to that side as 2. So zeta 1 by 2, 2, omega n 2. So what is the standard expression? C of s by r of s, omega n squared. Just substitute in the formula. Omega n squared is nothing but 4 s squared plus 2 zeta omega n. Zeta omega n we will get 1 only. So 2 into zeta 1 by 2 into omega n is nothing but 2 into this s plus omega n squared value is nothing but 4. So 4 divided by s square plus 2 to get cancelled. What is remaining? 2s plus 4. So 4 divided by s square plus 2s plus 4. So in this formula, in this problem, option D is the right option. In this problem, what should we need to know? We should know the standard expression of this C of t. Okay. Then only we will be able to solve the standard second order system transfer function. These two formula we should know. Moving on to the next problem. Which one of the following statements is not true for a continuous time causal and stable LTI system? So for causality, so 4 different options are given. We should identify which one is the wrong statement from the given one. Okay. for the system to be causal and stable. So for that we should know the what is the condition for causal and stable. Causality and stability condition we should know. So causal means if it has some value for t greater than 0, 0 for t less than 0. Okay, this is the condition for causal. What is the stability? Stability will depends upon the location of the poles only. That pole location should be in the left half of S plane only. No pole should be in the right half of S plane. So this is the condition for the system to be stable. So we know what is causal and stable. Let's see one option one by one and identify which one is the wrong statement for these two conditions. So all the poles of the system must lie on the left side of the j omega axis. So for the system to be stable, as I already told, no, all the poles should be in the left half of S plane only. Okay, then zeros of the system can lie anywhere. So for the stability condition, it doesn't mind about the location of zeros. It should consider only the location of poles only. So 0 can be anywhere. This is also correct only. Both the options are correct. Then all the poles must lie within S is modulus S equal to 1 means unit circle. Okay, within S is equal to 1 means, see, this is the unity circle. So this pole can be from this condition, from this statement, from this option, what is given, the poles must lie anywhere in the unit circle means, so this is the unit circle means mod 1 minus 1 to plus 1. It varies minus 1 to plus 1 and plus j omega to minus j omega. Okay, if it is any poles located in the left half of S plane, it is okay, but no pole should not come to right half of S plane now for the system to be stable. So from the condition, poles can lie at anywhere. So this is the wrong statement. So pole should not be positive. Okay, it should only negative value. Left half of S plane only we can locate the poles as the negative. If it is for this condition, what is given? All the poles must lie within this. Within this, poles can be anywhere means this stability condition will not meet. Can you get, guys? Okay. Then, so this is the wrong statement from the given option. We will see the rest of the options also. What is given in the D? All the roots of the characteristic equation must be located on the left side of the j omega axis. So left side of the j omega axis, which represents the what is actually a characteristic equation? See, one transfer function, one numerator term will be here, one denominator term will be here. Say it is a C of S by R of S, let it be. Okay, what a numerator represents? Location of zeros. Denominator represents location of poles. Okay, so poles in general, what is a g of s divided by 1 plus g of s into h of s. So this is the denominator. This is the characteristic equation. Characteristic equation is nothing but equating the transfer function of that denominator term of that transfer function equal to 0. So 1 plus gh equal to 0 is nothing but denominator term equal to 0, which is nothing but characteristic equation. So we know characteristic equation must be located on the left side. That only given now. So characteristic equation is nothing but denominator part of the transfer function. So denominator parts of the transfer function represents the location of poles. So what is the condition of stability? Location of poles should be in the left half of the S plane only. So this is the right statement. Okay, this is also right. All three are right. This only wrong statement. Okay, then the polar plot of the transfer function g of s is equal to given will be in the, we need to identify whether it will be in the first, second, third or fourth quadrant. So how can we find out? To find out the quadrant, to just find out the angle for the given transfer function, then substitute the different values for omega and then locate the plot and then draw the plot. Then we can identify which quadrant, which angle to which angle this transfer function will be. Okay, so we'll see. Without using the calculator we cannot identify. So let's see how to solve this problem. Okay, So g of j omega, substitute s equal to j omega, 10 into j omega plus 1 divided by j omega plus 10. So 10 into 10 can be written as real and imaginary part. There is no imaginary part, can be written as 10 plus j0. This is j omega plus 1, this is j omega plus 2. So angle of j omega we need to find out. How can we find out? Tan inverse of imaginary divided by real part. So tan inverse of imaginary is 0 by 10 plus tan inverse of omega. Imaginary part is here omega, okay, omega by 1 minus, this is in the denominator, so we should put minus sign here, minus tan inverse of omega by 10, okay. So as I told earlier, for different values of omega we should find out the angle. So this is the angle of the given transfer function. So apply different omega value and then find out the angle. So first apply omega equal to 0. So this is no omega term here. So tan inverse of 0 is nothing but 0 degree only. Then when we substitute omega is 0, what we will get? Tan inverse of 0 by 1. Here minus tan inverse of 0 by 1. So 0, 0, 0. So 0 degree only. Then at omega equal to 1. So this is simply 0 only, this first term, because tan inverse of there is no omega value. So we cannot apply for different values of omega here. This is simply 0 degree only. For rest of the term we will apply omega equal to 1 means tan inverse of 1 by 1 minus tan inverse of 1 by 10. Tan inverse of 1 is nothing but 45 degrees minus this calculator, using calculator we can put 39.5.17, so 39.29. So at different angles, at omega equal to 10 also we are getting this degree 39.21. Then find out omega equal to infinity. Omega equal to infinity we will put what we will get. So first term obviously it is 0 only, 0 degree plus infinity by, so these two term, tan inverse of infinity by 1, infinity by 1, obviously infinity, which degree will come? 90 degree. So 90 minus 90 is 0 degree. So see, at omega equal to 0, 0, 1 this value, 10 this value, at infinity it is 0. 0 from 0 to infinity it will polar plot represent from what is the first quadrant? 0 to 90 degree, 90 to 270, 90 to 180, 180 to 270, 270 to 0, 90, 180 degree, 270 degree, right? This is 360 degree also, 360 and 0 degree same only. So this will locate in between 0 to 90 degree. For different values of omega we are getting 0 to 90 degree only. So polar plot this first, second, third and fourth quadrant. So this polar plot represents only in the first quadrant only, okay. So first quadrant is the right option. Then the zero input response of a system given by the state space equation. So state space equation is given. So zero input response means what is we need to do? What does it mean? Zero input means no external input. So it depends only on the initial values. Depends only on the initial value. There is no external input, okay. So x of t is nothing but e power at into x of 0. So that value. So what is a? 1 0 1 1. So the same thing, state transition matrix format, Li Si minus A inverse. First find out Si minus A. Si we know, S0 0 S minus A, the given matrix. So Si minus 1 0 minus 1 and S minus 1. Then find out the Si minus A, the whole inverse. We know the adjoint of A divided by modulus of this value. So adjoint of A is nothing but just transpose this and this, okay, the same term only. So just change the sign only here. So 0 for minus 1 we can change it to plus 1, okay. Divided by determinant A. Find out determinant A, Si minus 1 the whole squared. This is 0 only. So simply Si minus A the whole squared, 1 the whole squared. So now divide by this element each and every term, okay, element. So when we divide, what we will get, ma? Each and every Si minus 1 the whole squared here, see. 1 by s minus 1, here 0, here 1 by s minus 1 the whole square, here 1 by s minus 1. Then taking inverse Laplace transform, what we will get? This is e power t, right? For this 0, this is t into e power t. This is e power t. So this is the Laplace inverse of Si minus A inverse. So we need to find out, so t, e power t 0 t, we need to find out x of t. X of t value, what is that? E power at into x of 0. So e power at we find out, okay, this one, this value, this is e power at value, okay. Then x of t is nothing but e power at into x of 0. What is x of 0? This one, matrix 1 0. So just multiply this matrix with this matrix, okay, x of 0 matrix. So this e power t 0 t e power t into this one 1 0 0, okay. So when we multiplying, what we will get? E power t, this row with this plus this with this, this with this and this with this, okay. E power t into 1 e power t plus 0, 0 plus 0 0, then t into e power t, t into e power t plus e power t into 0 0, then simply e power t, t e power t. This is x of t value, this one, option 3. Then consider a transfer function gp of s is given. One transfer function is given. What is given? With p, with a positive real parameter. P is nothing but p is a positive real parameter. This p is a positive real parameter. The maximum value of p until gp remains stable. Though this p should be stable, we need to find out the p value. So for this type of problem, we should use Routh-Hurwitz array, okay, using Routh array, Routh-Hurwitz criteria, using the characteristic equation. We'll see how to solve this problem. So what is the given transfer function? Just copy down the given transfer function. This is a closed loop transfer function. So by using characteristic equation only, we will be able to solve the Routh array. So what is the characteristic equation? As I told earlier, denominator part equal to 0. So this part equal to 0. S square plus 3 plus p into s plus 2 minus p is equal to 0. How to form the Routh array? Just write s squared, s power 1 and s power 0. Then now we are going to find out, write down the even elements from the characteristic equation. So this is the characteristic equation, denominator part, okay. So s squared is nothing but even part only we need to write in the first row. So coefficient of this 1, then what is the even part? This is a s power 0 na, 0 is a even number, so 2 minus p here. Then s power 1 term 3 plus p, coefficient of s, there is no term, so we will write 0. Then we'll form the next row. How can we find out? So to find out this element we need to find out, okay. How can we find out? Means first multiply this and this minus this divided by this element. Can you get, guys? 3 plus p into 2 minus p minus 1 into 0 divided by 3 plus p, okay. This is the procedure to find the next element, this element, okay. So 3 plus p and 3 plus p get cancelled, so this is obviously 0 only, okay. So what is remaining? 2 minus 4, so this is 2 minus p. So in this, here we should write here, okay. Here what is 2 minus p? So this is the basic procedure to find out this value. Multiply these two minus these two divided by this element, okay. Then find out. So this is the basic one. Then now I will teach you the shortcut. Whenever 0 comes, no need to do this method and all. Just copy the above element here, above value. What is 2 minus p? That will come here only. Why? Because whenever we multiply, we will get 0 only. So this term and this term will get cancelled. Obviously this term only come, okay. So whenever 0 comes, we no need to solve and waste our time, just copy then the above value. Okay, so but we should know the basic procedure also. Whenever we forgot, we use the basic procedure now. So what is that? This and this, multiply these two minus these two divided by this. Okay, so for the stability condition, so we have formed the Raoult array. So this is the procedure to form the Raoult array. So we have 3 coefficients, so squared s 1 s power 0 only. So we have formed. So what is given? For the system remains stable, what is the value of p? So what is the stability condition from the Raoult array? Raoult array means for the system to be stable, all the elements in the first column should be non-zero. It should have a positive value, should be have a positive value, it should not be 0. All the elements in the first column should be a non-zero. Non-zero means it should have a value. Okay, for the system to be stable, just take S1, 3 plus p greater than 0. What obviously we will get p greater than minus 3. Then 2 minus p greater than 0, p greater than 2 from this. Okay, so this p value lies between minus 3 to 2. Okay, obviously p is equal to 2, because if it is greater than or for the it should be a positive value, and the first row should not be 0, and we should equate, for the system to be stable, we should equate to 0. So 2 minus p equal to 0, p is equal to 2. For the system to be stable, p value is 2 only. Okay, then we'll move on to the next problem. The open loop transfer function of a DC motor is given as W of s by V A of s is equal to 10 divided by 1 plus 10s. When connected in feedback as shown below, the approximate value of Ka that will reduce the time constant of the closed loop system by 100 times as compared to that of the open loop system. Okay, what is given? Open loop transfer function of a DC motor value given. So it is connected with the feedback as shown below. Okay, we should find out the Ka value that will reduce the time constant of the closed loop transfer function 100 times as compared to that of open loop transfer function, which means tau closed loop is equal to time constant of closed loop. So time constant tau of closed loop is 100 times, reduce the time constant 100 times of to that of tau open loop time constant. Okay, tau closed loop time constant that will reduce the time constant of closed loop transfer system by 100 times of compared with open loop. So this is the meaning. Tau CL is equal to 1 by 100 times of tau OL. So we should find out the Ka value from the condition. Okay, this is the condition and also given. So W of s by VA of s is given. Okay, so what is the standard form of first order transfer function? K divided by 1 plus s tau. So tau is nothing but a time constant. Just compare with the equation K divided by 1 plus s tau. This is the standard. What is given? 10 divided by 1 plus 10s. From that, what is tau? Tau is equal to 10 only. Correct? Tau, this is open loop. So this is open loop. Open loop only without considering the feedback loop. This is the open loop first order transfer function. So this is the standard form K divided by 1 by s tau. So equating this, tau is equal to 10 here. So tau open loop tau time constant is 10. What is the closed loop time constant then? Tau closed loop is equal to 1 by 100 into tau open loop, right? So what is the time constant of closed loop? This is 10. So substitute 10, 1 by 10. We are getting 1 by 10. So now find out W of s by R of s. W of s by R of s is nothing but G divided by 1 plus GH. Whenever it is not mentioned we can take it as h of s value is equal to 1. So it is g of s. G of s is k square means 10 ka divided by 1 plus 10s. Okay. So g, what is the closed loop transfer function? W of s divided by r of s is equal to g divided by 1 plus gh. So substitute g value and h value in this equation, we can find out. So ka into 10 divided by, so ka into 10, so it is g of s. I will write here ka into 10 divided by 1 plus 10s. 1 plus 10s, h of s is 1. So okay, so how can we find out g divided by 1 plus gh? So ka divided by 10. So whenever it is unity feedback, we have already taught you in our previous videos, we should not apply in this equation and waste our time. Just add the, when it is unity feedback means just add the numerator term here in the denominator. We can find out the closed loop transfer function from the open loop. How can we find out the closed loop transfer function from the given open loop transfer function when it is unity feedback? This can be applicable only for unity feedback. So no need to apply here and then find out. Just add the numerator term in the denominator. That's it. Ka into 10 divided by 1 plus 10s plus 10 ka. Okay. So 10 ka divided by 1 plus 10s plus 10 ka. So this is W of s plus R of s. So we know that what is the tau format, standard format, k divided by 1 plus s tau. So we need to change according to this format equation, we need to rearrange. So 1 plus 10 ka is a constant only. 1 plus 10 ka is a constant plus 10s s tau. Okay, this is 1 plus something. So now we need to be in the 1 plus s tau format. K may be anything. Okay. So to be 1 plus s tau, what we can do? Divided by 1 plus 10 ka in the numerator and denominator as well. Okay. Then only it will come as 1 here now. So divide by numerator by this term, numerator and denominator by this term. What will get? 10 ka divided by 1 plus 10 ka. Here in denominator we will get 1 plus 10s divided by 1 plus 10 ka. So what is tau here? This is closed loop tau na. Tau closed loop is nothing but 10 divided by 1 plus 10 ka. Already we find out tau closed loop value 1 by 10. So 10 ka, 10 divided by 1 plus 10 ka is equal to 1 by 10. So by simplifying 100 is equal to 1 plus 10 ka. So 100 minus 1, 99. 10 ka equal to 99. So ka equal to 99 by 10. We will get 9.9, which is approximately equal to 10. So ka value is 10. Okay. Ka value is equal to 10. Then a planned transfer function is given as g of s is equal to kp plus kt by s into 1 by s into s plus 2. When the plant operates in a unity feedback configuration for the stability of a closed loop system is. So what is given? Transfer function value is given. This is open loop transfer function, and what is given? Unity feedback. So condition for the stability of the closed loop system. So we know the stability of the closed loop system by using the Routh array only we will be able to solve this. So g of s value is given. Just copy down in the problem. H of s value is given as unity feedback. What is the to find out condition of stability is nothing but Routh-Hurwitz criteria is nothing but closed loop transfer function. Equating that denominator part is equal to 0. So what is the closed loop transfer function? G divided by 1 plus gh, right? So this 1 gh is equal to 0, which is nothing but characteristic equation, which is said to be characteristic equation. So 1 plus gh. So g of s value kp, take LCM here, kps plus kt into s into 1 by s plus 2. So we will simplify this into some format. Okay. then kps plus kt divided by s squared into s plus o. So this is g of s. So this is open loop transfer function. How can we find out closed loop transfer function? G divided by 1 plus gh. So what I said earlier, whenever it is said to be unity feedback, no need to apply this and find out, just copy down just add the numerator term to the denominator. You can check with applying in that formula, you will get this answer only. You can check, okay. This is a homework or you can work it out, okay. So kps plus kt s square plus s plus 2 plus add the numerator term kps plus kt, okay. kps plus kt divided by s squared is nothing but s cube plus 2s squared plus kps plus kt. So s cube, s squared, s term, kt term. What is characteristic equation? Equating that 1 by gh. What is 1 by gh? This term. Equate 0, then find out, form the Raoult array, then we'll find out the stability, condition of stability, okay. For the system to be stable, how the condition will be. So 1 plus gh characteristic equation is nothing but just write down the denominator part of the transfer function. Now form the Raoult array, s cube, s squared, s power 1, s power 0. S cube nothing but odd powers. Just write the odd powers coefficient. So s cube 1, kps coefficient kp. Then for s squared even terms 2, then s power 0 is kt. Then we need to form the rest of the rows, okay. For these two rows we should form. How can we form? As I told earlier, 2 into kp minus 1 into kt divided by this term. So what we will get? 2 kp minus kt by 2. So there is no term here, so obviously this is 0, okay. So for this term, whenever 0 comes, what I said earlier, just copy down the above term, okay, kt, or you can check with the normal procedure. So I will solve here. 2 kp minus kt into kt minus 0 divided by what term? This term only, to find out divided by this term, 2 kp minus kt divided by 2. This term vanishes na. So 2 kp minus kt, so this is also here also 1 by 2 will come na, 2 into kt. So these two will get cancelled. What is remaining in the numerator? kt. So whenever 0 comes, no need to waste your time, just copy the above term. So next, the important term, scenario. So for stability, what is the condition? All the elements in the first column should be non-zero. So should be non-zero means should be greater than 0. So 2 kp minus kt by 2 greater than 0 for this, and kt also greater than 0 for this two term, kt greater than 0. So kt will be greater than 0 only. For this term we'll find out. So obviously this will go to that side as 0 only. So 2 kp minus kt greater than 0, then 2 kp greater than kt. So kp greater than kt by 2, which is greater than 0. Kt also greater than 0 na. So this is the condition, kp greater than kt by 2 greater than 0. This is the condition, okay. We'll move on to the next problem. If Laplace transform of if f of s is equal to Laplace transform of f of t is equal to one transfer function is given, one f of s. So with initial and final values of f of t given, we need to find out. So applying initial value and final value theorem of Laplace transform, we can find out. So what is f of s value? Just write down. What is the initial value of the value theorem? F of t at t tends to 0, which is nothing but f of 0 is equal to limit s tends to, whenever 0 comes in s domain, we should this is the initial value theorem, limit s tends to infinity s into f of s. So limit s tends to infinity s into this f of s value. So whenever infinity limit comes, we should not apply directly as infinity value, okay. We should not apply like this. In place of s, we should not apply infinity into s or infinity into this we should not apply, okay. We should take s squared as outside and then substitute, okay. So just multiplied by inside 2 into s into s, 2s squared plus s divided by these terms. So take s squared common, 2 plus 1 by s now. Here also s squared take common, 1 plus 4 by s plus 7 by s squared. Now substitute s squared get cancelled. Substitute s tends to infinity. What we will get? 1 by infinity. This term 0. 1 by infinity 0 only. Anything by infinity. This term get cancelled, this term vanishes, we will get 2 by 1. So f of 0 value 2. So whenever infinity comes, we should take common outside, then only we should apply. We should not directly apply infinity value. Then final value theorem of Laplace transform. What is that? F of infinity is equal to limit t tends to infinity. It's nothing but limit s tends to 0, s into f of s. S into f of s value given. So here for what is that? For 0 we can substitute, other than infinity value we can substitute directly. So whenever substitute s equal to 0, with this multiplied with this value 0 only. So f of 0 value and infinite value 2 comma 0. So 2 comma 0 option B. Then in a Bode magnitude plot, which one of the following slopes would be exhibited at high frequencies by a fourth order all pole system? What is given? Bode magnitude plot. Which one of the following slopes would be exhibited at high frequencies by fourth order all pole system? See, each pole in a system, each pole in a Bode plot system, slope will be minus 20 dB per decade for one pole. If it is 2 poles, minus 40, multiply by 2. 3 poles, minus 60. 4 poles, minus 80. Very simple. For all poles, for single pole, minus 20 dB. Fourth order means 4 into 2, minus 80 dB per decade. Okay. Positive signs for each 0 in Bode plot is represented by plus 20 dB. For pole, it is minus 20 dB per decade. For zeros, it is plus 20 dB decade. For first order 20, second order plus 40, third order plus 60, like that. Okay. For poles, it is minus sign. First order minus 20, second order minus 40, like that it go on. Okay. Then if the Laplace transform of a signal y of t is equal to y of s value given, then its final value is nothing but steady state value. Steady state value is nothing but at t is equal to infinity y of t. Y of t value, what is the final value theorem? Limit t tends to infinity y of t is equal to limit s tends to 0, s into y of s. So we see final value only theorem is applicable only for the stable system. Stable, what is the condition? Condition for stability, it depends on the location of poles. So we will see poles location. See, poles is nothing but denominator part equate to 0. So s equal to 0, s equal to plus 1. So all the poles should be in the left half of s plane only. For the system to be stable, all the poles should be in the left half of s plane. Plus 1 will go to the right half of s plane. So this is s plane, sigma. Real axis, this is imaginary axis, plus this is RHS plane, this is LHS plane. So one pole in the origin, one pole in the plus 1. This is 0, this is plus 1, one pole. So one pole is in the right half of S plane. So the system is unstable. So final value theorem will not be applicable for the unstable system. So this is the given system is unstable. So we cannot apply the final value theorem. So it is unbounded. Unbounded is the right option. Then in the derivation of a expression for peak percent overshoot MP is equal to exponential of minus pi zeta divided by square root of 1 minus zeta squared into 100%. Which one of the following condition is not required? So we should apply the wrong condition or wrong option from this. Okay. So system is linear and time variant. So actually maximum peak overshoot will be greater than 0 when if 0, zeta value is between 0 to 1 only, the maximum peak overshoot is exist. Whenever zeta value is between 0 to 1 means then only the maximum peak overshoot exists. At zeta equal to 0, this will be maximum. Zeta equal to 1, it is 0. So, whenever zeta increases, both are inversely proportional. Zeta value increases, percentage overshoot will be automatically decreases. So, zeta value is 0 to 1. So, this is the condition. We will see option one by one and then system is linear and time invariant. So, maximum percentage overshoot will be applicable only for LTI system, that is linear time invariant system. So, this is the right one. We should apply the wrong, we should find out the wrong one. Then, the system transfer function has a pair of complex conjugate poles and no zeros. So, what does means location of poles we need to find out. No zero means location of zeros, nothing. Complex conjugate poles. So, whenever for maximum percentage overshoot, zeta is between 0 to 1. 0 to 1 is nothing but underdamped system. For underdamped system, location of poles is nothing but complex conjugate pair only. Okay. So, this is also correct one. Then, the system has no zero initial conditions means the system should not have any initial condition, it should have zero initial condition, that is nothing but causal system. So, for maximum peak overshoot, this is also correct. Then there is no transportation delay in the system, which means that, so whenever for LTI system, see input is given and it is taken, right? That should not be transportation delay, there is given no transportation delay. This is impossible. Whenever practically we can apply the system, input can be from anywhere. Okay, so there will be some delay. So this condition is wrong. There is no transportation delay in the system is the wrong option. There will be a transportation delay. So this is not required. Okay, all of the system is required. This is the wrong statement. Then the transfer function h of s is equal to v naught of s by va of s of an RLC circuit is given by h of s is equal to 10 power 6 divided by s squared plus 20s plus 10 power 6, the quality factor of this circuit. So, one transfer function is given, RLC circuit transfer function is given. We need to find out the quality factor for the transfer function of the circuit. Okay. So, what is the relation between quality factor and the given transfer function? What is the formula is nothing but Q is equal to 1 plus 2 zeta. This is the formula 2 zeta. So, from this equation, so this is the standard equation. See, omega n squared divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. Just equate that with the given transfer function 10 power 6 divided by this term. What is omega n squared is equal to 10 power 6. Obviously, what is omega n? 10 cube. Okay, radians per second unit. Then 2 zeta omega n is equal to 20. Omega n value substitute. 2 zeta omega n is equal to 20. Omega n value 10 cube. Just substitute and find out zeta value 0.01. So, what is the quality factor? Q equal to 1 by 2 zeta. Just substitute here. Q is nothing but 50. Okay. So, this is the formula. Here just a derivative how the formula comes. How the quality factor is related with zeta. We will see quickly. So, this is the series RLC circuit. See, this is VI output V0. V0 of S by VI of S is nothing but. So, in S domain, how can we represent C? 1 by SC for L, S into L or simply R itself. So, 1 by SC divided by R plus L plus C. So, R plus SL plus 1 by C. Take LCM. RCS plus S squared LC plus 1 divided by SC, numerator 1 by SC. So, 1 by SC get cancelled. So, what is remaining? 1 by 1 plus RCS plus S squared LC. So, take LC outside. So, then only we will get S squared plus S term plus constant term. Na? So, LC S squared plus R by L into C, LC in the outside, na? Then 1 by LC. So, 1 by LC go to the numerator. Take 1 1 by LC divided by S squared plus R by L into S plus 1 by LC. So just equate this term with the standard derivation of the second order transfer function, omega n squared divided by S squared plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n squared. So omega n squared is equal to 1 by LC. Obviously omega n is equal to 1 by square root of LC. So 2 zeta omega n is equal to R by L. 2 zeta so this is 2 zeta omega n. So how can we relate with Q? Q is equal to omega L by R. Okay, this is also one formula. Q, quality factor, equal to omega L by R or 1 by omega CR. Omega L by R can be written as here omega n L by R, omega n divided by R by L. This can be written as R by L. Okay, R by L. Instead of R by L, what we can substitute? 2 zeta omega n here. Okay, 2 zeta omega, because R by L is equal to 2 zeta omega n. So omega n, this is Q equal to 1 by zeta. So this is the, we should remember this formula. So this is the derivation of this formula. So Q is equal to 1 by 2 zeta. Coming to the problem, so just equate this transfer function with the standard second order transfer function. Find out omega n value, from that find out zeta value, then substitute zeta value here, then find out the quality factor. Then the gain margin for the system with open loop transfer function g of s h of s is given. We should find out the gain margin for the given transfer function. Gain margin formula is nothing but 1 by modulus gh at omega equal to omega pc. When omega will be is equal to omega pc, whenever angle touches minus 180 degree, that omega will become omega pc is nothing but phase crossover frequency. So first find out the angle, that equate that find out the angle of this transfer function, then equate with minus 180 degree. We can find out the omega pc value, then find out the, then apply this formula. See one by one. So gh, in short I will write g of s h of s by gh. Gh is equal to 2 into 1 by s plus 1 plus s divided by s squared. Then mod gh. So sorry, mod, not mod. We need to find out angle now. Then substitute s equal to j omega here. 2 into 1 plus j omega, s squared is nothing but minus j omega squared. We will get minus omega squared. So from that find out angle. So we need both angle and magnitude. Now magnitude for this transfer function, what is that? Magnitude 2 into, for this what is the magnitude? 2 into 1 plus omega squared, square root of 1 plus omega squared divided by minus omega squared, simply, right? Minus omega squared. So minus omega squared the square root, right? This and this get cancelled. We will get minus omega squared the whole square plus omega squared here. So we should know how to find out the magnitude and angle. Okay, so angle, so right, so first I will write the transfer function given in the problem. 2 into 1 plus 2 into 1 plus j omega divided by minus omega squared, right? So this is the transfer function. This is s equal to j omega. What is given? 2 into 1 plus s divided by, in problem, divided by s squared, right? So first we need to find out the substitute s equal to j omega. What we will get? 2 into 1 plus j omega divided by j omega, the s squared is nothing but j omega the whole square. So j squared omega squared, j squared value minus 1, so minus omega square. Now we need to find out the angle and magnitude for this. Okay, so angle of this, so first magnitude is nothing but 2 into real part squared plus imaginary part squared, square root of 1 squared plus omega squared. Here there is no real part only, there is no imaginary part, only real part only. So what will happen? Square root of minus, so in denominator only I will square root of minus omega square the whole square. Okay, omega square the whole square. What we will get? Square root of omega plus minus become plus now omega power 4. Square root of omega power 4 what? Obviously omega square, simply omega square. Okay, so what is angle? Angle is nothing but, so magnitude, how can we find out? Square root of real part plus imaginary part square, real square plus imaginary square. Or that angle is nothing but tan inverse of imaginary by real. Okay, in that equation. So see, this is tan inverse of, true will come now, where it goes, constant 2 tan inverse of here, oh this is constant, tan inverse of imaginary by real, omega by 1, it is in the denominator. So this is 2 times. Okay, so minus 2 times of, this can be written as minus omega, so this is here only I will say, this can be written as omega into omega, right? Omega square can be written as omega into omega. So there is no imaginary term. So tan inverse of, this is in the denominator. So minus tan inverse of omega 0. Again for this we should apply minus tan inverse of omega by 0. So minus tan inverse minus 2 tan is. Whenever minus omega square comes, we can write it like this, minus 2 tan inverse of omega by 0. There is no imaginary term. Now we are going to simplify. Tan inverse omega divided by 2 tan inverse omega by 0 is nothing but infinity. Tan inverse of infinity value is 90 degree. So minus 180 degree. Minus 2 into 90 degree. So as I told earlier, what is the formula? Gain margin we need to find out. Gain margin is nothing but 1 by magnitude of GH at omega equal to omega PC. At omega equal to omega PC, when omega will become omega PC? Whenever angle reaches minus 180 degree. So angle equal to minus 180 degree. So this angle should be equal to 180 degree at omega equal to omega PC. What is the angle value? Minus 180 degree. So equate this term equal to minus 180 degree and change omega equal to omega PC. Can you get, guys? So this is the method. Okay. So minus 180 degree tan inverse of omega PC minus 1. This and this get cancelled. So what is here? 0 degree. So tan inverse of omega PC. So omega PC is nothing but, this will go to here as tan 0. Tan 0 value is 0 only. So omega PC value is 0. Now magnitude value at omega equal to omega PC. What is the magnitude? 2 into 1 plus omega square divided by omega square na. 2 into 1 plus omega PC square divided by omega PC square. So omega PC value is 0. 2 into 1 plus 0 divided by 0. Obviously true only. So magnitude is what is the value of GH at omega equal to omega PC value is here 0, sorry, denominator we are not considering, denominator also 0. So what we will get? Obviously infinity. Magnitude of GH is equal to infinity. So what is the formula? Gain margin is equal to 1 by magnitude GH omega equal to omega PC. That value is equal to infinity. So substitute 1 by infinity. Anything by infinity 0. So gain is nothing but 0. So this is the procedure. So this is the formula. For that we should know the angle and magnitude value of the given transfer function. Just substitute s equal to j omega, then find out the magnitude. We should know how to find out the magnitude and phase value, sorry, angle value. So then find out, equate that to 180 degree, then omega becomes omega PC, then find out magnitude at omega equal to omega PC, then substitute in this formula. Okay, then the open loop transfer function of a unity feedback system g of s is given, and also given unity feedback system the range of k for which the system to be stable. So for that what we have to use, we should find out using the Routh-Hurwitz criterion. So open loop g of s value given, h of s is 1. So closed loop transfer function, this is the standard method to find out. So as I told earlier, whenever it is unity feedback, it is just add the numerator term into the denominator. So k divided by s, this is the given transfer function in the problem. S into s square plus s plus 2 into s plus 3 plus k. Okay. So just multiply inside. Then again multiply inside and simplify. So this is the final closed loop transfer function. Now we are going to form the Routh array. Routh array is nothing but characteristic equation equal to 0. This 1 plus gh is nothing but characteristic equation is nothing but denominator term of closed loop transfer function. So s power 4 plus 4s cube plus 5s square plus 6s plus k equal to 0. Now we are going to form the Routh array and find out the stability condition. So wait 1 second guys. So this is the final problem, I think. Okay, we'll solve this. So first s power 4 term, even term, coefficient of even term 1, then 5, then it is s power 0 also even term only k. Then s cube, odd term, just write down the coefficients of odd term 4, then 6, it is 0. Okay, then the remaining term we should form the remaining elements. So for this element, how can we 4 into 5 minus 6 into 1 divided by this term. 4 into 5 20, 20 minus 6 divided by 4. Obviously 20 minus 6 14, 14 by 4 is nothing but 7 by 2 3.5 here. Then for this how can we find out ma? For this element 4 into k, this one. So for this element 4 into k minus 1 into 0 divided by 4. So as I told earlier, whenever 0 comes, just copy down the above term. So whenever 0 comes, copy down the above term, we will get k here. So just we need to check whether it is correct. 4 into k minus 1 into 0 divided by k. So 4k minus 0 divided by 4k. So 4k by 4k, oh sorry, divided by 4, simply 4 only na in denominator. 4 into k minus 0 divided by 4, 4k by 4, what we will get? K only. So you need to solve, just copy down, whenever 0 comes, just copy down the above term. So now we are going to form this term by using 3.5 into 6 minus 4 into k divided by 3.5. By simplifying, what we will get? 21, 35 into 6 to 10, 21 minus 4k divided by 3.5, this term. Okay, this is 0, obviously 0, there is no term here, so 0 only. See, okay. Again, whenever 0 comes, we no need to find out, just copy down the above term, or you can use the as usual procedure, this into this, multiply by this, minus 0 only. So this into this divided by this. So this into this divided by this, numerator denominator this term get cancelled, obviously k only come. So we will form the Routh array. Now for the stability, what is the condition? The coefficient of the first column should be positive only. For the stable should be positive, it should be non-zero. All the elements should be the positive value. For the system should be stable, it should be non-zero also. It should be positive non-zero value. Okay. See, this is positive, this is positive, this is a positive value, this also should be positive. So should be positive, what should we do? 21 minus 4k divided by 3.5 should be greater than 0 to be positive. Okay. So this is 0. So 21 minus 4k greater than 0, 21 greater than 4k. So 21 by 4 greater than k. Okay, k is also positive, k also greater than 0. So 21 by 4, k greater than 0. So this is the condition. Okay, for the stability condition, all the elements of the first column of the Routh array should be positive only, that is should be greater than 1, and also it should be non-zero value. Okay, so equate to greater than 0, then find out the condition of the k to be stable. So this is the answer, 21/4 greater than k greater than 0. Option A is the right option. Okay, we will end the video. Kindly subscribe our channel Off Campus and then click on the bell icon also. Thanks for watching.